Deaf people living in Coventry and Warwickshire say they're being left frustrated and feeling vulnerable due to a lack of sign language interpreters at a city hospital. The Coventry and Warwickshire Association for the Deaf says it's received more than 100 complaints about the lack of interpreters at University Hospital. Charity, the RNID, has accused the NHS of flouting equality law. The NHS says it's working to improve standards. Rosie Eaton reports.
Terry was taken to hospital having problems with his brain. He says he asked for an interpreter but wasn't given one for 24 hours.
So I had my CT scan and an MRI scan, but they didn't explain anything. There was no interpreter. They just basically took me, put me in. I had the scan and then was told to leave. But Vicky, my assistant, arrived the following morning. And she said, "You are aware that Terry's deaf?" Because they were just shouting my name.
Helen told me 4 or 5 times she's requested an interpreter in advance, but no one's turned up.
It just feels like a waste of my time because I've driven there for no reason. I've paid out of my pocket to get there. I then have to pay for the car park. And I'm here on time. So you can't charge me, but where's the interpreter?
Sometimes deaf patients are offered BSL via a remote video link.
Then they bring in this virtual interpreter on wheels, but the connection isn't great, so the video quality isn't great, and it's laggy, and then you can't quite see where the interpreter's looking.
The NHS has an obligation to provide interpreters for patients who need them, and primary care services like GPs should be sharing information about patients' communication needs with hospitals. The RNID, which supports deaf people, say nationally 1/3 of people never get this service, and that means the NHS is flouting equality law.
The Coventry and Warwickshire Association for the Deaf tell us the problems began when the hospital changed its local BSL provider to Language Line, an American-based service which also translates foreign languages.
So there was no consultation with the deaf community. Language Line and the hospital consulted with the National Deaf Children's Society. But we're not talking about babies. They were concentrating on babies to 16. Obviously, we're 16 to 100. We need to make a stand. Enough is enough. Hearing people get foreign translators straight away, and that's beautiful. That's a beautiful service for them. For deaf people, there's just barrier after barrier.
The Trust say they're committed to providing accessible services for all their patients. 98% of their BSL bookings this year have been fulfilled, they say, but they're sorry to hear of the experience some patients have shared. They add providing BSL interpreters is a national challenge, but they're engaging and consulting with local deaf and community groups to address the issues. Rosie Eaton, BBC Midlands Today, Coventry.